What in the world?
Would we, like, die if I turned the car off? Like, heat-wise?
I don't think so.
Oh, it's hot.
You're literally wearing a sweater over a short sleeve sweater.
Well, I put this on, because look.
Oh no. Do you need a Tide to go stick?
You have one?
In my car. Are you already recording?
Yeah, it's been on for... Why does this keep turning?
Is it me? Are you nervous?
Carrie, I'm feeling shy.
Hey guys. Welcome back to Bean Juice. I'm Carrie. My friend next to me is Avery.
I didn't know if I... Sorry.
I'm talking here. No, I'm just kidding.
I didn't know if I was going to introduce myself or if you were going to introduce me for me, but...
I could have communicated that.
That's okay. That's okay.
You want me to go again?
No. That was perfect.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome back to the podcast, guys.
Woo!
This is Bean Juice episode...
4?
3.
3.
We're coming to you live from my car.
In the park.
In the park, windows down, a little bit of a breeze.
Very nice.
It's a nice day.
It is. We just had burritos from Chipotle.
Yeah.
I'm feeling full, energized, ready to talk.
I love that.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so I have an opener to start us with.
Oh, goody.
I have an icebreaker, if you will.
Ooh.
I was recently in Colorado to visit my family. I was there for about a week. Carrie was in distress the entire time.
I missed her.
But it's okay because I'm back.
She's back.
I got to see my cousins and my aunt and uncle and my grandma and grandpa, my brother.
Further.
And while I was there, one of my cousins told me this thing.
Uh-huh.
He was like, he's 13. He was like, I asked my friends this the other day, and I realized that it's a great conversation starter.
Slay.
It's, when's the last time you ate a potato? And in what form?
When's the last time I ate a potato and in what form?
Yeah.
Golly.
Really got to think about this.
As a person who likes starches, you'd think that it'd be like yesterday. I'm pretty sure it was tater tots around 2 a.m. last week.
Last week?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like in the midst of you and Micaiah being gone, I was like, man, this sucks.
You had to break out the 2 a.m. tater tots.
I did. I was reading my book, People Who Eat Darkness. Very true crime, kind of scary, kind of weird. And I was getting a little pickish, so I grabbed a snack, which was tater tots. Like the frosted cookies, like with the icing.
Sorry. I just remembered I had gum in my mouth. And
Goodbye, gum.
Also, there's a sound I think over there. The frosted cookies?
Yeah, like the little sugar cookies with like icing.
Oh, the
like
Walmart ones?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, those are delicious.
Oh, they are so good. And then I had a cup of orange juice.
Wow.
Breakfast, 2 a.m. tater tots with a cookie.
That sounds delicious. Juice. I support that fully.
Thank you so much. When was the last time you had a potato?
I don't remember.
Do you remember?
When my cousin told me about this, he said that all of his friends said yesterday, and it was all in the form of French fries. Every single one of them. So I don't know if they all went out and like got French fries together or what.
They all went to McDonald's.
Yeah. I'm thinking... Ooh, when was it?
Did you have fries in Colorado?
I did have fries. I had fries on when I was in Colorado, we took a quick road trip to Texas and back. So on
Mhm.
my way back, we stopped at Arby's and I got curly fries. Arby's curly fries. I never go to Arby's because I'm vegetarian and they have the meats.
They do have the meats.
But they also got the fries and they're really good.
The fries are really good. Have you ever had their crinkle fries?
No, just
I know everybody always talks about the curly fries,
the
but
curly
hear
fries
me
are
out.
good though.
Hear me out. The crinkle fries?
Are they kind of like flaky and textury like the curly fries? Ooh, okay. I can get behind that.
It's just salt, but I'm telling you, it's like Arby's salt. Like, I ain't never had this kind of salt before. This salt is specifically for Arby's, by Arby's. Because it would just, without it, it would just be a fry. A crinkle cut fry. But then they put whatever little zhuzh of salt they have.
It's not like a seasoning, it's just salt.
Arby's, if it's actually a seasoning, I'm embarrassed.
It's probably a seasoning.
It doesn't have a color.
Oh, okay.
Salt doesn't have a color.
No.
Well, I mean,
What?
but yes, next time you
Hot
ever
take. Salt doesn't have a color.
Salt colorless.
Anyway, Arby's fries, very good.
Oh, 10 out of 10. Good snack.
Everything else on the menu really scared me though.
Only things I'll get from Arby's: fries, mozzarella sticks, and chicken. Every once in a while.
Chicken.
Yes. Yeah. What was that one word I used to describe being like?
Chicken fishitarian or something?
Yeah.
Pescatarian?
Pescatarian.
No.
Yeah.
Was that?
Was it? I don't know. I could technically be a vegetarian if I tried, but every once in a while my body's like, chicken.
Chicken. Have you ever tried not chicken?
I can't say that I have.
Like vegan chicken? Like if you buy vegan chicken nuggets from the store.
I have. Fiona sent me one to try this one time.
Did you like them?
I think I went and bought them again.
Ooh.
Guys, am I in my vegetarian era?
Oh my
again?
god. I will say, being vegetarian, okay, how long has it been? At least 3.5, maybe 4 years I've been vegetarian.
Mm-hmm.
During the entire duration, I've had the exact same conversation over and over with my grandparents.
Oh gosh.
They say, every single time I see them, they say, so, do you eat eggs? Do you eat milk? So, what? And then they joke about how, because my grandparents love their meat. Like the day before I got there, they made steaks and they made crawfish etouffee to put on the steaks.
Wow.
And so it's so funny because I'm not like the stereotypical vegan that like speaks out and like shames people on it. Like I literally don't
you're
care.
not vegan?
I literally don't care. Like you can eat whatever you want and I won't say anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
But they're like that to me.
I'm sorry, dude, what?
Before I got there, my brother was calling me and asking me about like what food I wanted because my grandparents were freaking out about me coming because they didn't know what to cook me. And so he said that my grandma said something about, oh, I'm going to have to learn how to cook tofu now. And my grandpa said, no.
Grandpa said, not in this house. Not in this house. I don't
No.
think so. Tofu in my house? No.
No,
Mm-mm. I don't think so.
simply not. So if you're thinking about becoming vegetarian, vegan, whatever, just take that into consideration.
Old people might get very confused.
Oh, they will. They definitely will. And you're gonna have to explain
There was...
it to them over and over.
I was with, who was I with? I think it might have been Chelsea. Not my ex-roommate, a different Chelsea.
Okay.
And we were at her parents' house, and She had recently started a vegetarian diet, and her dad is like, not to be stereotypical, but he's like a very clean cut, like traditional Republican
Oh yeah.
closeted person. And like this man could not comprehend like not eating meat of any sort. And every time like her mom would go cook something, he'd like grab the ingredients or like grab like whatever like mix she was using, and he'd be like, well, this has wheat in it, can you eat wheat? This has soy, can you have that? Oh, we gotta use water, can't cook it. Like,
Just doesn't even know what.
and then he
The
would
food
turn
groups
towards me
are.
and he was like, you eat meat, or are you weird too? And I was like, I'm a guest in your house. You're making me nervous.
Yeah, I can relate to that.
You silly goose.
You eat meat, or are you weird too?
You weird. I guess I'm weird. But I can eat wheat, yes.
Well, wheat kind of sounds like meat, so I don't know if you should be eating that.
You eat wheat?
Dude, I completely relate to that. Oh no, I'm not vegetarian. I'm normal. I've heard that before.
And it's always like older men.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's like that video of that guy. I'm a male. I'm a him. I'm a him.
I do not
Prescribe any of that mentally ill stuff. Like, okay.
Okay.
Okay, King.
Whatever you say, sir. It's the same men that eat, like,
But he understands pronouns. He's a him. He's a he.
I'm a him, I'm a he.
He. I'm a male. That's good. That's good. So you understand.
Good. Step in the right direction. Okay. Anyway, I also wanted to clear up a few things that were said in the last few episodes.
Oh?
First of all, first episode, we were talking about Jason.
Mhm.
We love Jason on this podcast.
We love Jason. Jason slays.
When we were saying that, though, we were talking about our friend Jason, who we work with.
Yes.
My dad's name is also Jason. So, Dad, if you're watching this, we appreciate you too, but if there's any confusion, I just want to clear up.
Clear it up.
We're talking about a different Jason, not my dad.
Hi, Avery's dad.
Hi, Dad. If we do refer to him, we'll refer to him as Avery's dad and
Yeah.
not Jason. So just wanted to clear that up.
Avery's dad. Jason. We went on like a
Two different people.
10-minute like Jason rant.
I know.
Your dad's just like,
I was just
who is
thinking,
this girl I have never met in my entire life?
it's so funny if my dad just like stumbles across that and I've like never mentioned to him. And we're
Avery,
like,
what is this?
we're like, Jason, our number one fan.
Slay Jason, tell us the anchor has dropped. He's
Anyway,
like-
I don't think that's gonna happen, but just in case, I wanted to clear
He's
that
like, Avery, the anchor dropped? Question mark.
up. Hello.
What?
Also, another thing, in the last episode,
Yeah.
we were talking about writing, and I was talking about one of the longest papers I've written in French class.
Mm.
And I said that it was however many pages, and then you started to give me credit for writing in a different language, and I said no, I wrote it in English.
Mm.
When I said French class, I meant French school when I lived in France. It was like the English class equivalent of French school.
I was gaslit. I was gaslit.
I rewatched it back and it sounded so it sounded so funny that I was like, oh yeah, for French class, but I didn't write it in French, I wrote it in English.
I was a bit confused. I'm not gonna lie, but I was like,
Yeah.
okay.
I just wanted to clarify that as well.
However your school runs things, that's cool.
I'm sorry.
In my French class, I wrote this long ass English essay.
Yeah, I forget sometimes.
She said, "Oops, that's my bad."
It was French school. Like the whole school was in French because it was in France. and one of my classes, I had to write a paper. Everyone else wrote their paper in French because they were French. But I wrote mine in English because it was a really long paper, so they let me write it in English.
They were like, it's okay, friend. It's okay.
I also said in the last episode, I was like, because the purpose of it wasn't to, like, learn French.
It was, to be fair, it was 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
When we were recording.
It was a little. Yeah.
And you were in your night owl era for like one day.
Yeah. That day messed me up, I'll tell you.
So your brain was probably like, hey girlie, we're still functioning. We haven't hit REM at all.
Yeah.
And it's 4 a.m. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Why are we awake?
Yeah.
Unless you have any more clarifications, I do have a question for you.
Yeah. No, that was the end of my that was the only 2 things that I thought of.
She was like, French class was French class. It was in French school, not English.
Yeah, I wasn't just cheating in my French class, writing in English.
Guys, sucks to be you all, but
I'm just special. I'm built different. So they let me write in English and not French.
Slay. With you being in Colorado, how was it? Highlight of your trip? What's the opposite of a highlight?
Low light.
What's the low light of your trip? Any interesting airport stories or anything of the sort?
I feel like I do. Did I write any down? I did. On my way over there, I flew out at like 7:30 on a Monday, but the way that it just worked out, I had to be dropped off at the airport at like 7 in the afternoon the day before.
You stayed the night at the airport?
So I stayed the night at the airport, and it was so cold. It was like unbelievably cold in that airport. It was freezing.
The Cincinnati one?
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me started on the airport.
What beef do you have with this airport?
The last time I went to go use this airport, I'm sitting there waiting for my flight.
Mm-hmm.
American Airlines.
That's your flaw right there.
And they keep delaying. Like, I've experienced delays like all the time. Like, that's fine. Yeah. Like, I'm not gonna raise a ruckus over like mishap. I mean, it's a plane. Like, I'd rather get there safely and in one piece. Like, I'm in no rush to put myself and others in danger. Like, what do you mean the wing's broken? Put it back.
Sorry, the wing fell off. We gotta put it back on.
No. So we get there, and I got there 2 hours early. And I'm waiting, and they were like, boarding's gonna start soon. 5 minutes before boarding, this lady comes out, and she's like, there's been a delay. And I was like, okay, thinking it's going to be like a little 1 hour delay. Yeah. It was 4 hours.
They didn't tell you how long it was going to be?
No. And then 4 hours passes by, and nobody has still said anything. There's no update on the monitor being like, your flight to Savannah is X, Y, and Z now instead of this time. And I was like, and so, mind you, I'm quite literally the youngest person on this flight.
Yeah.
Like, I was with a bunch of, like, I'm pretty sure it was, like, Masters weekend or something. So it was a bunch of, like, older people and just, like, middle-aged families going to experience a golf tournament.
Yeah.
And all these, like, old people are like, I was supposed to board this flight. We have been sitting around here. There ain't no food. And I'm like, okay. Getting nervous because there's a crap ton of people. There's no open outlets. And for some reason, he was right. They're like, all the like little restaurants and kiosks that they had like at the airport there, they were all closed.
What time was it?
By the time that like people started complaining about the delay, it had gotten to like 7 p.m.
That's
Yeah,
so
so
weird.
things should still be open.
Yeah.
I got there at like, I think it was like 2 or so, and we were supposed to board at 4.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's awful.
And then another like 2 hours passes by. It's 9 p.m. At this point, they shut down the restrooms.
Why?
I have no idea.
Like to clean them?
I don't know. They were just shut, like closed. Like this lady like put this like little fencing thing in front of it, and I was like, "Oh God, Tinkle,
Why?
what am I supposed to do?" Here come around like 11 p.m. They still had no answer as to like where our plane was, and they were like, "Yeah, this is really unfortunate."
11 p.m.
Yes, 11 p.m. I had been there since 2 p.m. And so I'm still just sitting there, no food, haven't eaten all day, haven't tinkled all day, because I didn't think the restroom was going to be closed, so I didn't know I had to go, get it all out of my system beforehand.
Oh my god.
Here comes midnight 30, and they were like, all right, the plane's going to be here in half an hour, and we can all start boarding, and I was like, and by that point, they had given out like a few vouchers for like hotels, or like refunds, and I was just like, literally, I'm in Cincinnati. The closest person to me is like 3 hours away, and it's midnight. Like, no one's gonna come pick me up. Like, hello. So we end up getting on the plane at like 1 something.
Oh my god.
I get to Savannah at like 3 something in the morning.
Does someone come pick you up?
Oh yeah, but by the time that I get there, it's 3 a.m. and all the restaurants are closed.
That's awful.
And all they had at the house was like old Raisin Bran and like the wheat thins, and I was literally sitting on this bed and I was just like, dry wheat thins, yes. And ever since then, I have not used the Cincinnati airport.
I don't think that's a Cincinnati thing. I think that's a airline thing.
Oh no, it definitely is, but it was associated with the airport, and therefore I will not be using it again.
I mean, if it helps, I've flown out of Cincinnati like maybe a dozen times, and this probably won't help. I was gonna say I've never had a problem.
What's that like?
Not to brag or anything.
Not to brag, but also like that sucks for you.
I don't know what. I don't know what the deal is. If, like, the universe is just on my side or something.
It would appear that way.
I never have any problems when I travel. And I travel so much.
That's cool.
Maybe it's just the airlines I use.
What airline do you use?
Because I never fly American or... I use Allegiant most of the time.
That's what I use most of the time. But of course, the one time I upgrade, because Allegiant's considered, like, the cheapest one. I typically always use Allegiant because it's the cheapest, and I don't care as long as I get from point A to point B.
Yeah, you too.
But someone else had paid, my dad had paid for my flight, and he was like, we ain't using no Allegiant. We gonna use American Airlines.
Why not?
You know how people are, like, stuck in their ways about stuff, and he, like I have a friend whose parents have, like, the Delta, like, Black Sky thing, or whatever it's called, and they'll drink their fancy water out of a glass before they go and fly. And I'm like, it's really not that deep.
It's
like,
not that deep.
You act like you're on vacation in the airport. No, I use the airport to get to my vacation.
Yeah.
Not to have a vacation in the airport. What? There's free water right outside the room. Instead of paying however much a month you pay for it.
There's some sinks in the bathroom if you want some water.
There are sinks in the bathroom.
If they're not closed.
Who knows what they do with the bathrooms now?
I mean, this last time the pizza place ran out of dough. That was the biggest problem I had.
How y'all gonna run out of dough? Where's our pizza place?
Oh no, I heard her talking about it. Apparently they had new people, and they scheduled the new people to work during the week when they were supposed to prepare the dough, and they didn't know what they were doing, so they didn't make the dough, and so that
they're like,
weekend...
I don't really know how to do this, so I'm just not going to.
I guess so.
You know how many times if I could just be like at work and be like, yeah, I don't really know how to do that. Sorry. And just move on with life.
Oh, I do that sometimes. No, but it's because I don't know how to. Not really anymore, but like I used to. Anyway,
She said, I'm not gonna dig a hole and put myself in
never
it.
mind.
Just kidding. I didn't mean it.
I would never do it and not mean it. Anyway, let's move on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just got confused there for a second.
don't worry about it.
Okay, Snay. Oh, but yeah, I didn't mean to cut you off with my whole rant about
Oh no, that's
Cincinnati.
totally fine.
The highlights and lowlights of your trip, miss.
Went to sleep in the airport. It was really cold. But it was fine. Also,
Mm-hmm.
I was sitting there in the airport watching New Girl on Netflix on my laptop.
Why are they taking it off Netflix?
No, hold on. Watching New Girl on my laptop, crocheting,
Oh, as she do.
as I do. I was having a great time.
Yeah.
Eventually, a couple hours pass, I migrate over to some, like, chairs, and I, like, kind of lay down, like, try to get comfortable. I'm still watching New Girl. I start to fall asleep, so I, like, close my laptop. I wake up again, like, maybe an hour later.
Oh, God.
I open my laptop to Netflix to watch New Girl, and it's not on Netflix anymore. They took it off mid-episode that I was watching.
It's already off Netflix?
Yes! It's gone. It's on Peacock now, though.
I don't have Peacock.
I have Peacock. You can use it. Peacock has ads, though.
That's fine. I'll suffer.
Okay.
I can pay for half of it.
I don't even pay for it. My brother does. Also, it's like $5 a month.
Thank you.
Anyway, so lowlights is airport was cold. New Girl got taken from me
Rude.
mid-episode watch.
Mm-hmm.
Also, our little quick trip to Texas. It's a 15-hour drive. I didn't have to drive, which was fine, but, like, I spent 2 whole days in the car.
What? Then why? Like,
My family lives in Texas, and my brother had to go pick up his stuff from the house because he just moved to Colorado, but he left a bunch of his stuff at the house. So we went to go get his stuff and bring it back. Anyway, really long drive. Also, you know how every time, like, at least every time I mention Colorado, everyone's like, oh, yeah, it's so beautiful there. And I'm like, yeah, it is. The mountains, they're beautiful. Texas was way prettier than Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, right now, Texas just had, like, a week of rain, and, like, all
Everything's
the
in
blue
bloom.
bonnets are out. It's so green there. It's beautiful in Texas. And Colorado is dry as hell. And
Mhm.
everything is dead and brown. So,
Take me to Texas. I want to go to Texas.
so not to be controversial, but Texas
Texas, better
was
than
a
Colorado?
lot prettier than Colorado. So,
Summer trip to Texas?
I'll be there.
I'll be there.
You will?
With you.
You will?
I'm just going to invite
Alright.
myself. I'm just coming.
Okay.
Whoop, whoop. Hee hee.
Did you have any topics you wanted to talk about? Anything you want covered?
Let's see. What did I do while you were gone?
What did you do?
I had a busy week at school.
Mm.
Also, I have like low-key, either my professor is just like really weird, or they've got like a sadistic sense of humor. Because they've given me 3 tests in the past like week and a half, right? I took my 4th one was it yesterday or the day before?
I don't know.
I can't remember. But I took another test from him, and homeboy was like, he signs every test with, good luck, and don't forget to have fun. Can't wait to read your responses. I was like, have fun.
The audacity.
Have fun. Have fun? What do you mean, have fun? I'm not having fun. Actually, it is one of my favorite classes. But that's besides the point.
Yeah.
How dare you give me a test? And it's not like, you know how like some people will get like a 15-question quiz, and then like, oh, I had this like big test.
Yeah.
No, all of his tests are 75 questions, and the last 10 are like short answer.
Is there a time limit?
Yes.
How long?
It's either an hour and a half or an hour and 45 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
And I take my time like a studious person and write thorough responses.
Well, that's on you, man.
I really do self-sabotage. But yeah, had a busy week at school.
Okay.
Also had a teacher pick on my assignment. But that's not anything new.
Like in class or just to you?
I don't know why, but historically, I've had like a lot of professors like take my work and be like, they'll use it as an example for like what should be done.
It's just because you're so studious and smart.
While normally that would be really flattering, I've noticed that it puts a target on your back.
Yeah. Wait, that's weird to do that like in online school.
Yeah, like we used Yellow Dig for like discussion board posts.
Yeah.
Right? And she will, no joke, be like, and Carrie Howard in this segment of this class did it like this. This is what I was expecting you all to do. And I was not met with the results I had expected from such exceptional students this time. And I was like, if we're so exceptional, why are you yelling at us? But aside from school, I learned a new crocheting technique, which I used on your bag, which essentially like is like changing the colors within like very small patterns.
Ooh, what'd you do?
So just because I'm bad at explaining, like when I was crocheting the little pink squares, when I would go in to like, instead of like snipping the thread to put on a purple
would you
one,
just like crochet over it?
yeah,
Yeah.
I had never done that before.
That's the way to do it, man. You kind of go through more yarn though if it's a bigger project. But yeah,
I had never done that.
shoot.
So I learned
Congrats.
something new. Thank you. I made my first real sale on my Instagram too.
Oh,
So that was cool. Thinking about opening up an Etsy. But yeah. Real creative, hardworking week.
sick.
All the
dude.
besties were gone.
Trying to occupy yourself.
I really was. I was like, I could go thrifting with friends. The friends aren't here.
I honestly was too. I've never crocheted more in my life than I did this past week.
Oh, same. Just like learning all these new techniques and
Oh yeah.
like I'm pretty sure. Now, let me backtrack because there were a few days that I did spend with other people. I'm not trying to discount my other friends by any means whatsoever. But I'm pretty sure every other day was spent like at home doing crafts or being at the craft store.
Yeah.
Buying more crafts.
That's how I love to live my life though.
I'm truly, like, I think my communication was at like an all-time low. Like, people would reach out and be like, hey, how you doing? I'm like, good. And then I put my phone back on silent and like go back into like my little corner. I would just be like,
Little creative corner.
I'd be like switching between like reading this book, crocheting, making some jewelry. I started painting this piece. So I'd be like,
I love doing that. I'll do that, but I'll like do it within weeks. So I'll spend like a few days only crocheting, and I'll spend a few days only painting, and then I'll spend a few. That's why it takes me literally so long to get any project done, because I start it and then I don't continue it until like weeks later.
see, I have the problem with like overextending myself. But like it for some reason I don't feel like completely satisfied doing one project at a time until it's finished. Like I will literally try to do as many projects, essentially all within like the same day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I will start crocheting something, and once I've got the base, I'll move on to, like, starting the base of something else, and then so on and so forth. And then I'll get to, like, the second stage,
Interesting.
and then I'll just, like, bounce between each project. So that's basically what I was doing.
No, if I do that, if I, like, start the base of something and then I move on to something else, I will never go back to that first thing I started. It'll literally just, like, sit on my floor for months.
I'm the exact opposite. Like, if I sit there and try to, like, complete, unless it's, like, a very small thing, like jewelry or something,
Uh-huh.
like, if I'm starting something of a bigger caliber,
Mhm.
if I don't, like, rotate,
Mhm.
like, if I don't rotate my senses, if I don't rotate my focus on, like, different sensory activities,
Yeah.
I'm just like,
That's so crazy. I can't relate to anything less. I spent literally like 2
LOL.
hours. I didn't time it, but I spent so much time yesterday
yar.
untangling a ball of yarn, and I never got it untangled.
How much time did you spend untangling this thing?
Like at least 2 hours. I'm not joking. I like
Was it a big pile of yarn?
it was a beanie that I bought at Goodwill, and I was unraveling it. Okay, let me explain.
You're such a silly goose.
I was unraveling it,
Yeah.
and you see, I did.
Hmm.
But then it's like this kind of fluffy, like thin yarn. And they put like 2 strands together
Oh.
to do the thing. And so I wanted to separate the strands.
Yeah.
But I decided that after I'd already like wound it up. So I was trying to like undo it after it was already in a cake, and it just got so tangled, and I just couldn't save it. So
You self-sabotaged.
I absolutely self-sabotaged. I should not have done that, but I did.
You're like, you know what sounds fun?
Now I can never use that yarn because it's just tangled forever.
Oh no.
I salvaged a little bit of it, I guess. I guess it's fine. But
You're such a silly goose.
anyway, yeah, I just start one thing and then I like can't move on from it.
I feel like that's a bit better though, because you end up finishing more projects.
No, I don't, because I
was trying to give you an out here.
No, I won't let you. I don't deserve that.
I appreciate the honesty.
I start it and I can't stop until I get bored of it, and then once I get bored of it, I move on to something else and I never go back.
Oh, so you burn yourself out.
I guess so.
Do I do that? To be read or not to be read? That is the question.
Was there anything else exciting you did while I was gone?
No, I guess I don't have a personality without you.
Oh, okay.
LOL. Just kidding. I'm sure there's like small stuff that I just can't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, that's totally fine. There were a few things I realized about myself
Oh?
while I was gone. And they are all bathroom related. Not in a weird way, but let me explain.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing, when you're in the bathroom and someone knocks on the door, what do you say? What do you do when someone knocks on the door?
I'm not gonna lie, that happened to me today at work, and I freaked out as if they were gonna be able to like miraculously unlock this like metal door.
Uh-huh.
I was like, a minute! Like, I got nervous. It's not like I was doing anything. I was literally just taking a wee.
Yeah.
And I was just, a minute! And like, just be like, just a second. Just give me a second.
A minute.
A minute. Like, why did I get nervous?
Like you were doing something you weren't supposed to. And
Yeah.
That's
I was
really
just
funny.
peeing. It's not even like I was like taking a dookie or anything.
That is so funny.
I was just peeing and I was like,
I don't know when this started, but like if I'm in the bathroom and someone knocks on it, I almost always know that I locked the door, and I'm like confident in that.
yeah.
So I just don't say anything. So like if they knock and they think that there's no one in there and then they try to open the door and it's locked, they'll be like, oh, someone's in there. But like, I don't want them to hear my voice from inside the bathroom.
I don't think I typically say anything, but for some reason today I got like hella nervous. But now that you mention it, like I do feel like either people don't say anything, or like if they do, they have like a very weird thing to say. Like I think it was, I'm not gonna name their name, but it was someone who used to work with us, and I had noticed like anytime that I went to go like use the restroom, they were always conveniently at the restroom that I needed to use, because this was like before we had like this was when we had gendered restrooms.
Oh yeah.
And I would always go to use the restroom, and I'd knock on it, and this person would always be like, "Hold up!" Like their whole voice changed. It was like it went like 8 octaves lower, and like they didn't even say "hold up." They were like, "Hold up." I was like, "Okay, my bad, homie."
That's really funny.
Oh man. But yeah, I don't think I normally say anything. I just kind of like wait for them to realize that it's occupied.
Yeah.
But today I was just like,
a minute.
a minute. Nervous for some reason.
That is so funny.
But I think that was also just like me probably just being like overwhelmed with like the situation, and I was just kind of like, I was probably just like mentally decompressing, and I was like caught off guard.
A minute.
You mean to tell me somebody else needs to use the public restroom?
Not wait a minute, just a minute.
Just a minute. The pure like terror. A minute.
That's really funny. Okay, the second thing
Mm-hmm.
is when you're in a public restroom. I was thinking about this being in the airport so much. Do you know those like paper things, those
The toilet
disposable
seat
things?
covers?
Yeah, that they put over, like some people would put toilet paper over. Do you do that?
Depends on how clean the restroom is.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like if I walk in there and it looks like no one's been in there to like clean it up in a while,
Yeah.
or if like the person before, like none of the toilets are like flushed for some reason,
Ew. Yeah.
like it's just like a dirty situation, I will like try to protect myself and my peace of mind and health as much as possible.
yeah.
But otherwise, like I feel kind of odd just like tearing off some strips of paper.
I was thinking about that. I don't know why. I was thinking about that. Because, like, even if there are, like, germs on the toilet seat, like, why do we care if germs get on our butt? Like, it's different than, like, touching something with your hands. But, like your butt isn't going anywhere else. Who cares if the toilet seat is not clean? Isn't that weird? She's processing. Hold on.
Like you saying that, or like the thought of like
Just like the thought, like when you think about it. Like if you really think about
like
it.
if you put your mind to it, my guy. Can I say something controversial?
Yeah, go ahead.
I disagree with you.
Okay. I want to hear your reasoning though. Why? Why do you care if germs get on your butt?
This is not to shame
Okay.
anybody else, especially since I don't know that person.
Okay.
Where has their butt been?
On the toilet and nowhere else.
What if they just had butt sex? What if they just had butt sex and then their butt sex juice gets on the toilet seat?
Okay, but that
And they wiped it off, sure, but the remnant, the juice, the remnant of the juice
okay, but like
from
in
the
an-
butt sex is on the toilet seat.
Okay, but like in an airport bathroom. Who's having butt sex in an airport?
People had sex at our place of work.
What?
Yes. I literally went in there masked up. I literally put on 2 masks and a pair of gloves and went in there and like cleaned it up. They left toilet paper all over the floor in the toilet paper. And I got back on the floor and they were like, yeah, we're supposed to call people to come clean that up. And I was like, That would have been nice to know before I sacrificed my dignity and went in there and just like renovated
Okay.
the whole bathroom.
Okay, you have a valid point. You have valid points. I think for sure if the toilet is like visibly dirty, I like wouldn't even use it.
Like if you're like, because obviously there's gonna be times where there's like desperate situations where it might be like you have to pull off on the side of the road.
Mhm.
But luckily you find like a gas station in the middle of nowhere
Yeah.
where no one has probably seen, like that toilet hasn't seen the light of day in like centuries.
Yeah.
And nobody's cleaned it and there's like obvious like dried piss on the like toilet seat.
Okay, yeah. In that situation, yeah.
Like yeah. Even then I still do like a little hover situation.
Yeah, that was another thing I was thinking about. Like people squat over the toilet so they
Yeah.
don't have to touch it.
Well, because my thing is, it's like even if like it's not as dramatic as someone like leaving some type of bodily fluid or like the remnant thereof.
Yeah.
Okay, but my thing is, germs can cause reactions on skin. I ain't
True.
trying to get a pimple on my butt because somebody else was nasty. I ain't trying to get a rash on my butt because somebody else was nasty. I'm not trying to have any type of reaction on my butt cheeks because someone else was nasty. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, that's a valid point.
Have I swayed you to the right side, or are you still stuck in your ways?
I guess so. I'm not really stuck in any ways. I just like caught myself because
You're like, man, why do
I was
people...
doing that. I would like put toilet paper on the toilet before I used it, and then I'm like, why do I care? Like if
Right.
my
the most
butt
part, I
touches
don't.
the toilet.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever really been in many situations where I've like had to put down toilet paper or the toilet seat cup feeling nervous. The toilet seat cover.
It's that segment of the podcast. Welcome to the misspeaking segment.
Oh,
It happens every time.
it sure does.
We almost got through this one. Oh, we almost got through this one without it.
Man, we were so close.
Come on.
I know. But I only ever do that unless like it is those odd situations where like we've been in the car for like 10 hours and there's just like nowhere convenient to really stop.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, this is really gross and kind of humiliating. Like when I had to use
Yeah.
that porta potty.
Absolutely. Also,
Why did I mention that?
also, did you know it was porta potty and not porter potty? Not to call you out.
Okay, buggy.
Because it's like... You say buggy too. You cannot drag me
Dang it,
down.
what's something you say I don't say? I don't know. I'll catch you next time.
Because it's portable potty.
I think in the South, sometimes people
Porter.
just like...
that's
like
okay.
it's just like the accent thing, and so like a lot like one last thing and then I'll stop talking, but like
This is a podcast, so you're supposed to...
that's so true. But like growing up in the South, like I realized that like a lot of like specific things don't get enunciated,
Oh, absolutely.
and so like when I'm sure like when I see it, like I'm aware that it says porta potty, but the way we say it is porta potty.
Porter potty.
Because, like, we, in Augusta, in that general area, like, I've definitely lost my accent, but, like, a lot of, like, slang or, like, just, like, communicate, like,
Yeah.
just the way I communicate in general, like, a lot of those things have stuck with me. And I've noticed that, like, not only do we talk fast, but it's usually, like, high-pitched and, like, a lot of words get, like, slurred together.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized that, like, bringing friends back home, they're like, because mine isn't as bad, but if you listen to like my grandparents or my parents or so on and so forth, they'll be like, what's going on? Like, for like one example that I always thought the funniest was Coke is a brand.
Oh, yeah. But it's
In the
weird.
South, Coke is it's literally just a term for soda.
Yeah.
And so when, like, we'd be at the family function, and they'd be like, what do you want to drink? And I'd be like, a Coke. And they're like, okay, what kind? Like, Coke was like a general slang for soda.
Yeah.
And so, like, when I moved to Kentucky and somebody was like, oh, I'll take a Coke, I was like, oh, what kind? They're like, the red one? The fuck?
The regular
Can I
kind?
get just a Coke? And I'm like, oh, yeah. But when you go back home, like, I mean, it's not just like a local people thing. Like, if you go to like a McDonald's,
Yeah.
anything, and you're like, I would like a Coke, please. They're like, what kind?
Yeah.
Like Sierra Mist? Do you want a Pib Extra, Dr. Pepper, so on and so forth. And just like small things in communication like that are so wild to like think about how like diction and like people's vernacular is just different just across like the states.
Yeah.
And how people will like nitpick how like very common things are communicated about differently.
Yeah.
Like how people here say shopping cart, but we say buggy.
I cannot even begin to explain the ridicule I've gotten for buggy.
I'd be like, go grab a buggy, and they're like, you mean a cart? It's like,
A what?
A what?
I said a buggy.
I said a buggy.
This is why we're friends. This is the foundation of our friendship.
Buggy is the foundation of friendship.
Because we were at the store one time and I heard you say buggy and I was like, she gets it.
That's a homie that knows. That's a homie that knows.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think it's interesting to think about, especially if you go, like, if you are a well-traveled person and you have the privilege to travel around to, like, different states at minimum. Like, just, like, listening to people communicate in different ways.
Oh, yeah. People just need to get out more.
Even just, like, in Deep South. Like, like, from where I'm from, it's all, like, fast and, like, high-pitched. But, like, deeper in the South, it's, like, thick and slow and...
Oh.
Hey! But, yeah, that's my little...
Yeah.
My little spiel.
Why did we... Oh, because you said porter potty.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry I ridiculed you for that. I didn't mean to.
It's okay, I'll just cry about it later.
I definitely also said porter potty.
I'm just used to it. Like, at some point, like, it just becomes a part of my vocab.
My family talks like that. My mom says harsh instead of horse. Also, the word...
Y'all wanna go horse riding?
Horse riding.
Yeah.
Barn is born.
Mm-hmm.
The harsh and the born.
Should be swapping the A's and the O's.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So I get it. Yeah. Anything else? Anything else of
Worthy mention?
yeah.
Not today on this fine afternoon, I don't think.
All right. I think it's been about 50 minutes.
Very nice.
Sick, dude.
Sick, dude.
Dude, time flies.
Dude, it does. The weather's nice. Just chatting amongst friends.
We gotta go meet Anna. Let me text her back. Where do you wanna go after this?
Can we stop by the store so I can grab my clothes for Clothes Mentor? We can drop those off and then go wherever else we're gonna go.
You want me to tell her to meet us at the store?
Yeah, that's fine, and we can all just ride together.
I love keeping this in the podcast.
Hey
just
guys,
making plans.
just making plans with the girlies. It's just the girls.
Yeah.
Chit-chatting.
Oh. And on that note, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.
Thank you guys.
Thanks for hanging out. Do we need to come up with like an outro or something?
We probably should.
This has been Bean Juice, and
thanks for sipping with us. This has been Bean Juice. I'm gonna. Sorry.